بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. تمام ساتھیوں کو یا علی مدد. مولا کے مبارک نام سے آغاز کرتے ہیں. الحی القیوم الحی القیوم علی اللہ الحی القیوم علی اللہ الحی القیوم علی اللہ. مدد فرما یا مولا مہربان، مدد فرما مدد فرما. یا مولا مہربان، مدد فرما. الحی القیوم علی اللہ، مدد فرما. نور مولانا شاہ کریم الحسینی حاضر امام. یا مولا مہربان، مدد فرما مدد فرما مولا. الحی القیوم علی اللہ، مدد فرما. نور مولانا شاہ کریم الحسینی حاضر امام. توفیق، تاہید، ہمت و یاری مولا. توفیق، تاہید، ہمت و یاری مولا. یا مولا مہربان، مدد فرما مولا مدد فرما مولا. تمام ساتھیوں کو ایک بار پھر یا علی مدد. We will start with part number 3. جی.
Part 3, in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. In verse 65 by 12, God says, Allah is He who created 7 heavens and as many earths. The command continues to descend between them, that you may know that Allah is powerful over everything, and that Allah has encompassed everything in knowledge. Tawili purport. The Lord of the first cycle is the heaven. His supreme hujjat is the earth. The Lord of the second cycle is the heaven. His supreme hujjat is the earth. The Lord of the third cycle is the heaven. His supreme hujjat is the earth. The Lord of the fourth cycle is the heaven. His supreme hujjat is the earth. The Lord of the fifth cycle is the heaven. His supreme hujjat is the earth. The Lord of the sixth cycle is the heaven. His supreme hujjat is the earth. The Lord of the seventh cycle is the heaven. His supreme hujjat is the earth. These are the 7 heavens and the 7 earths, according to Tawil, and collectively they are the universal cosmic paradise. Respected teacher, March 17th, 2005.
جی اردو میں کون پڑھ رہا ہے آج؟
بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. قسط 3 سورہ طلاق 65 کی آیت نمبر 12. اللہ الذی خلق 7 سماوات ومن الارض مثلہن یتنزل الامر بینہن لتعلموا ان اللہ علی کل شیء قدیر وان اللہ قد احاط بکل شیء علما. تاویل باطن. صاحب دور اول آسمان، اس کا حجت اعظم زمین. صاحب دور دوم آسمان اور اس کا حجت اعظم زمین. صاحب دور سوم آسمان اور اس کا حجت اعظم زمین. صاحب دور چہارم آسمان، اس کا حجت اعظم زمین. صاحب دور پنجم آسمان، اس کا حجت اعظم زمین. صاحب دور ششم آسمان، اس کا حجت اعظم زمین. صاحب دور ہفتم آسمان، اس کا حجت اعظم زمین. یہ ہے تاویلاً 7 آسمان اور 7 زمین، اور یہی حضرات مجموعاً کل کائناتی بہشت ہے. جمعرات 17 مارچ 2005। शुक्रान लिल्लाह वल्हम्द।
Subhanallah, subhanallah. To continue with our previous talk, that how everything in the creation are in the pairs. Not only in the physical world, but also in the world of religion, everything is in the pair. And the example Ustaz Buzurgwar have given here from the 7 Natiqeen and their hujjat, and in the time of Tariqat, 7 Imams and their hujjat or bab, and in Dore Hakikat, where he recalls and folds all of the ranks within. Even when he folds all of the ranks within, that does not mean the Kanun-e-Jufts, the law of the pairs, disappear. It remains but folded. In very simple example, when we take 2 pages and mark them in a book, they are 2 pages, but inside the book, they are 1 book. And there can be many examples of that. Here, Sahib says, with this ayat, that all of this is encompassed in the ilm. So when we take the principle, and every ayat has a key word and a principle. Here, the word everything which is encompassed, and we're going to wait for the knowledge part for a second. So when we take the wakulle shayin, then wherever in the Quran, कहीं पर भी कुरान के अंदर वकुल्ले शहीन आया होगा, this ayat will have the same understanding and the meaning in that place. And which ayat comes to mind, which we had discussed yesterday? وَكُلِّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ فِي إِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. And here he says everything is encompassed in the knowledge. Then the knowledge is another word for Imam. Imam Mubin has everything encompassed. Does that mean everything including knowledge is encompassed in Imam Mubin? Or you will find the Imam Mubin in the knowledge. Those are the principles or the key words or the underlined words that we normally talk about. Again, we have to refer back to the previous part. If you listen to that, in those two parts, Wakulle Shain Asanafi Imam Mubin was not mentioned. But during our lesson, we did mention. Because those were the in-between line messages, understanding, core principles. And again today, Wakulle Shain is here, but Imam Mubin is not. So what we just learned and understood, how to connect ayat, the key principles, and how the ilm encompasses everything. But if we do not have that ilm or understanding that there are key principles, then we will read these things individually, separately, completely detached, and sometimes because we do not have underlined words or the hidden understanding, we will have to learn this very hard way, and sometime, and if I would say most of the time, I would not be too far off. We will not understand it completely. Because to understand completely, we have to learn how to connect the key words. So here, the key word, underlined word was everything is encompassed. Now, if we take the knowledge part, then anywhere and everywhere in the Quran, the word knowledge would be used. This will be connected. Now imagine if you come in this ayat and start to take an example from the beginning, Allah creates. Now you connect all the ayat where have Allah have used the word khalq. Then find all of the ayat where 7 heavens or the 7 earths are mentioned. First, you take number 7 heavens and 7 earth and go across the Quran. When you are done with that, just use the word heaven and just use the word earth and connect. And then take the word command and connect. And word mutallaq and connect. And then come to encompassing everything and connect. And then knowledge. You will come to a conclusion that entire Quran is connected with each other because there are comments, questions, and answers in different places. So you will take this one comment and you will connect to the other comment there. You will take this one question and you find the answer there. And this is how Quran must be learned. I'm not using word read. We must know how things are connected in the Quran. So let's come to the article. The Tawili Mafhum in this one, that how Allah have created everything in the pair and entire Kainati Behesh is encompassed at the end in the 1. So when we have to ask question, how does he fold all these heavens and all of this earth? How does he fold? He fold all of that in the final. In the final. Let me explain. There are laborers who build a building. It probably would take 1,000 or even more different skilled labor to build a building. But when you look at the building, you said, so and so contractor had built this building. So and so engineer have built this building. And you may come up with about 5 names, not 1,000 names. You took all those 1,000 into 5 and you fold it into 5 by the work definition. Then those 5 will come under one master contractor. And he will say, I built this building. You see that 1,000 was folded into 5 and 5 were folded into 1. Meaning the final one. So in the Alam-e-Din, all of the Alam, heaven and the earth, are folded into the Qaim at the end, as he is the final of that. And then after the Qaim, and this may be new to some, or the understanding may be new to some, that after everything is folded into the Qaim, Qaim is the one who starts to unfold. And his first juft or unfold comes with the Adam. Adam and Hawa. So if we ever have to think about where is the place of fold and unfold, we will say at the time of Qiyamah with the Qaim and Adam. On the clock at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is the junction where he is 1 and 2. A place of fold and unfold. So let me stop here. I believe we learned few principles with this one article. Now, if there is any question, you can go ahead and ask now, or we can read 4 and then ask. But since we are cutting this into each individual number, if there is any question regarding number 3, go ahead and ask. All right, in that case, let's move on to number 4.
Part 4. In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Indeed, there are 7 heavens and 7 earths of the world of religion, exactly as there are 7 heavens and earths of the external world. When the Lord of resurrection, the one unifier, the subduer, causes the spiritual resurrection, he enfolds the external and internal heavens and earths in his right hand, and makes them the confluence of the pearl of intellect and the hidden book. Cross-reference is 39 by 67. If you really want to be among the moths of the light of Hazrat Mola, there is still time. Begin to make your heart prosperous with the pure and true love for him. Respected teacher, March 18th, 2005.
Subhanallah.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। किस 4। यकीनन आलम दिन के 7 आसमान और 7 जमीन है, बिल्कुल इसी तरह आलम जाहिर के भी 7 आसमान और 7 जमीन है। जब खुदावंद कयामत अल वाहिदुल कहार रूहानी कयामत बर्पा करता है तो उस वक्त वो कादिर मुतल्लक जाहिरी और बातिनी आसमानों और जमीनों को दस्ते रास्त में लपेट कर गौहर अक्ल और किताब मकनून का संगम बनाता है। पुरानी हवाला सूरह ज़मर 39 की आयत नंबर 67। अगर आप सचमुच नूर के परवानों में से हो जाना चाहते हैं तो बिस्मिल्लाह, अब भी वक्त है। अपने दिल को हजरत मौला के पाक इश्क व मोहब्बत से मामूर कर ले। उस्ताद बुजुर्गवार, जुम्मतुल मुबारक 18 मार्च 2005।
सुभानअल्लाह, सुभानअल्लाह। यकीनन आलम दीन के 7 आसमान, which were mentioned in the previous article, and 7 जमीन है। बिल्कुल इसी तरह आलम ज़ाहिर के भी 7 आसमान और 7 जमीन है। As mentioned above, truly there are indeed 7 heavens and 7 earths in Alam Deen, as mentioned above, and Alam Zahir may be 7 Asman, and even in the physical world. Now there's where the question comes. Where do we see 7 heavens and 7 earths in the physical world? That would be a tough question to answer, because physically we do not see that. The heaven or the sky that we are looking at, there is no end to it. Meaning there cannot be another heaven on top of that. Unless we go to another planet, we will not find another earth. It's not that there are 7 layers of earth within earth. Then how do we understand that? To answer that, we must come to the second paragraph. During the Ruhani Qiyamah, spiritual Qiyamah, there are different stages which are shown. And some of those stages are shown in a very physical manner, because it is much easier to understand and comprehend 7 spiritual heavens and 7 spiritual earths, unless a physical example is given. And in the spiritual Qiyamah, even at the very early stages, those miracles are shown, how one can fly from one heaven to the other. The secret is that after a long time that Tawil comes, that they were actually increasing their ranks from Mustajib to the seven heavens above. If you are a person of wisdom, you instantly have calculated the seventh heaven being the Imam. But in your mushaida, in your spiritual understanding, the way you see it, that you are flying from one sky, I'm going to use word sky for heaven, to the another sky. You literally cross this sky that we see, and you go to the next one, and you see another sky on top of you. Now you are on the ground of this sky. The amazing part is, at that time, you may not understand what has been shown to you. What was shown to you was that you are crossing the ranks. And when you reach to that mirage, the seventh heaven, you find yourself in the Imam as the seventh heaven. And that's how Ali Allah combines and crosses all of the seventh heaven and the seventh earth, and all combined first in the Imam Mubin, and then second in you. Because at that place, you will not be able to tell if you are in him or he is in you. Because both is true at that point, at that junction, at that time. For your easy understanding and future references, you will not be able to tell at the level of 12 if you are 1 or 2, because you will be 1 and the 2 at the same time. Al-Wahidul Qahar, a key word placed here, because without that pressure, the push from Al-Wahidul Qahar, the force of monoreality, Zabardasti, without that, we will not be able to cross from the one to the other. I'm not even talking about number 7 heaven, Imam Zaman. Even from Mustajib to Mazun, that first heaven, it takes a lot of pressure, because on our own, we will not be able to cross. We will not be able to cross. So what does he do? He put that wind under our wings, and invisibly he carries us. That's how we see ourselves flying. And he pushes us I have to think for a second. What it would be the proper vocabulary for such a secret? When you come to that first heaven, I'm going to use word sky. It does take a lot of pressure to cross through that. It is almost impossible. It would be like putting a camel through the needle. Subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. You will not be able to cross that as a camel, as a whole body, but through the particles. I hope you can understand and listening in between the words. And that's how powerful that pressure is, that it breaks you into the particles. रूहानी ज़रात की सूरत में आप उससे गुजर जाते हैं. सुभान अल्लाह, सुभान अल्लाह. Those are the secrets of Ruhaniyat. So Saib saying, if we are going through the Ruhani Qiyamah, then Qadir Mutallaq takes all of the physical barriers and physical Zameen wa Asman in his powerful hand. And with that powerful hand, and only that way, otherwise the Galbai Sultan, you cannot break. You cannot break. But it is he, the Al-Wahidul Qahar, the Qadir Mutallaq, those are the key words here, that takes you into the highest of the Miraj, one after the other. There are many visions, didars, ilm wa hikmat wa tawilat, marifat on each heaven. But while you are going through in that flood, you are just drowned in the flood and you may not know anything what is happening until the day comes when you have such an article that you could say, now today I got the tawil of my dream. As Hazrat Yusuf has said to his father, that today I have received and understood the tawil of my dream. Those events of the Quran are so intertwined that some or all or the most of the event are represented in one of your Ruhani Qiyamah. So let's come to the second line. That he encompasses all of that and hides or show in the Gore Akal and Kitabe Maknoon. He unfolds the external and internal heavens and the earth in his right hand, in his Qadir Mutlaq sense, and makes them confluence of the pearl of intellect and the hidden book, the Kitab-e Maknoon. Here, it looks like there are two things, Gore Akal and Kitab-e Maknoon. But it is not, because that place is a place of oneness. You will find the Kitab-e Maknoon in Gore Akal. You will say, how do we understand this concept? That would be a correct question. Kitab-e Maknoon is the example of Nafse Kulli, where everything is written in detail. Whereas Gore Akal is the example of the Akle Kul, where everything is folded. Meaning, if you take the pen, then there would be Gore Akal. If you take the written book, then there would be Kitab-e Maknoon. The same ink in writing. Or Adam and Bani Adam. Or single soul and the humanity. One folded in single soul and humanity enfolded in the humanity. And that's how those spiritual miracles are given to the Arifin, so they may understand and see, not only understand, but to see how. So when they have an opportunity to teach, they can draw from that experience and give to others. So Sahib says, if you are truly the lover of Ali Allah and His Noor, then it's not too late. It's not too late for us to become one with Him. Today, we may take this as Ilmul Yaqeen, and tomorrow we will take this as Ainul Yaqeen, as you will see all of these miracles step by step, one by one, or with mini or major Qiyamah. And then all of this will be possible for all of us, because it is not only for the children of Ali, but inshallah we are Imam's spiritual children, and we are Ustad-e Buzurgwar's intellectual ilmi children. Then all of his spiritual resurrections, miracles belongs to you if you choose to accept it. It's not too late. It's not too late. If you are the lover of Ali Allah's Noor, we still have time. Very short time, but we still have time. Very short time, but we still have time. So let me stop here. And then if you have any question from these two, as these two are connected, we can go ahead and ask question. If you want to ask from 3 or 4, you can ask. G.
Aziz Sir, I have a question.
G.
If we're just reading this for the first time, to read the line where it says there's, Ustad Buzugwar says there's still time, it would just come across as a general statement. Someone says there's, still time. As long as you're reading this, there's still time. But the way you just said it right now, that short time, but there is time. Is this, are you referring to the idea of the smaller period of Qiyamah, the 150 years?
Correct. So there are two ways I could answer that. Even after 500 years, someone who would read this, and if they understand this the way we are understanding during this time, the hope always must be there for them. So for them also would be true that there is still time for you. Because otherwise, without that hope, there would be no rahmat and no mercy. And that is not how we understand the mercy of Ali Allah. But for us, because we are looking for and we wanted to push ourselves to the most highest place we can reach within this period, the mini period of Rohaniyat, we must push ourselves to go from Ilmul Yaqeen to Ainul Yaqeen. So Sahib says, now that you have believed in the Rouhani Qiyamah, and now you understand all of the miracles of the Rouhani Qiyamah. And when you will listen to this recording, seven times, you will see how the miracles are unfolding 7 times. Because there were secrets, they were given, hints were given. And all this will become possible for you in a short time. And we must, because if we believe or if we say we have a lot of time to do this, then that time is never coming. That tomorrow is never coming. So we must do this in a very aggressive. And I had a smile on my face when I came on this line. Kamra Sahib and Ferrer were discussing 3 ayat, or they were looking for references. Sabiku and Sarihu. And I was thinking at the end of this session, we're going to be talking about this, that we must take those principle of Sabiku and Sarihu. G.
So I still have a question though, because it still seems like the way you said that, or still that question is always there of why to say that in this time, like the short time, that why would it be different? I know we've touched on this in other times, other places, even as far as maybe, or the explanation being that the further you go in time, the more disconnected one is from the, let's say, living students and scholars who are with Ustad Buzugwar, and that itself sometimes leads to like a lessening of the understanding from people. But I still feel like I'm just wondering why would say that this time there's a very short time left to take the most advantage of this now. So let's say another 50 years from now, that there'll be something different. It'll be less auspicious of a time for students, those who are already connected now, let's say, as time goes on, that it would not be as auspicious as right now.
Right. So, the ilm, we must always take from Allamah. And then what? Those who have taken ilm from the Allamah. And then what? Take the ilm from those who have taken the ilm from the Allamah. The further down you go, and if you look at the Muslims today, why do they not have the same understanding as us? Because they have gone so far away that those teachers who are teaching them have lost completely, not nirbit, they have lost completely the idea of the Nur and the Imam. That's what will happen. Those who have learned this firsthand are still amongst us. Tomorrow that would not be the case. We were just discussing this in Houston a week or so ago, that if only reading Quran was enough, or the books of the Dais was enough, or the book of the Saib was enough, then why do we need Arifin, Dais, Hujjat, teachers? So the further down you will go, those teachers would not have the first hand, and I'm sometimes really afraid to even talk about this thing, first hand ilm and first hand experience. So the essence would be lost, because they will not be able to verbalize their experiences, first-hand experiences. So when they will be trained, they will have to say, like today we read in Hadith, it is tradition and attributed to A, B, and C, or my favorite, Qasim Bhai. It will be attributed to them. So 100 years from now, somebody reading this article and inshallah listening to this lecture, they will say that this is attributed to so and so. You see, they will not have that first-hand knowledge nor experience. G, that is the reason.
Okay, thank you. And I have one quick question. Maybe this is obvious,
Yeah.
but when because Sahib uses Al-Wahid al-Qahar here for one unifier and subduer as the one who causes the spiritual resurrection. So would it be correct to think, or good to think, that if we ever do that dhikr of Al-Wahid al-Qahar or Al-Wahid al-Qahar Aliyallah, that in our mind that can be the concept of, or the hope for, Ruhani Qiyamah?
Absolutely. So we are invoking, we are giving invitation that Al-Wahidul Qahar, I know I have a free will, but I'm submitting my free will to you. So do your miracle of Al-Wahidul Qahar. Put that pressure and make me one with you. Doing sajda of Al-Wahidul Qahar, I don't know if you have ever demonstrated how to, use this Al-Wahidul Qahar Ali Allah in the form of 40 sajdas. If not, inshallah, next week, remind me, I will put my laptop on the floor here and I will show you how to do that. If you already know, then that's good. If not, we can demonstrate that. Ji.
Sorry, are you saying about when we say Al-Wahid al-Qahar Aliyullah and the sujood at the Aliyullah?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty common or standard amongst the students of Sahib. I mean, I think it's when there's when students meet together for a special occasion like that, or for a class, sometimes in person. I know that's been the practice, and it's a nice practice. I think I've mentioned to you one time too. I actually really like that the concept of Al-Wahid al-Qahar, especially with the understanding that that you just mentioned, that it's through his power we cannot do it, but that overwhelming power that he has to make us one, on the pattern of the concept of Wahid or Wahida, that makes us one with him. It's a beautiful concept of Al-Wahid al-Qahar.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other friend? और कोई साथी कुछ पूछना चाहता है? कुछ जरूरत है उर्दू में बयान करने की? All right. Looks like this is the end of the third and fourth session. Inshallah, we will meet again. So do read 5 and 6. And inshallah, may Allah be with you. And we'll see you all Saturday. I will get in touch with you, Kyal, by end of the day to send you the topics for Saturday.
I was just
Thank you, everyone. G.
No, I was just going to ask, but you had answered it. So, okay.
I could see.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.